Moving on, blockchain is yet another technology that's making waves for all the right reasons. We bring to you Mr. Prasanna Lohar, Head Digital Innovation and Architecture at DCB Bank. He will be speaking on human transformation post COVID-19 through blockchain. Over to you, Mr. Lohar.
Very good evening. My name is Prasanna Lohar. I work in DCB Bank as a head digital innovation and architecture. So friends, today we'll talk about prominent and radical change technology, so-called blockchain. And primarily we will talk about post-COVID, how blockchain is going to change life for all humans. So let's proceed. So friends, in 2030, humans will be banking with no banks. This is what prediction could be. Let's find out how life will change in the next 10 years. So every 20 years, in the past, what we have seen, in every 20 years, something or the other force comes and really change our life. Even though we have been quite successful last 40, 60 decades, we must look ahead and understand that there is a new and a very strong trend happening in the world that is totally different from almost everything that we have seen before. So post COVID, what is that driving factor which we had not seen, and which is that innovation? How can we collaborate with the right partner technology? That's gonna be the key for the upcoming decade. So friends, this is our story. When I had opened my bank account long back, or even recently before COVID, people used to visit branches to open a bank account. So if I ask how many of you visited branches regularly, or in the last 30 days, how many of you really visited branches to open a bank account so rigorously or eagerly? Or are you happy with that? A lot of paperwork happens at the branches, right? Or would you like to visit branches post COVID? I think these are all important questions, not only in bank, but every type of industry, media and entertainment, health. Every industry has impacted during COVID. So friends, I want to showcase one slide, DeFi. DeFi is a concept, it's called as a decentralized finance. DeFi as an ecosystem consists of more than 200 startups or those fintech companies primarily working on a blockchain based decentralized finance applications. Say it could be a lending, say it could be a savings account, say it could be your payments, whatever services banks are offering, all the services are offered by this DeFi ecosystem. Why I'm showing this slide, this is recently started in 2019, and since 2019 December till now, the complete market cap has hit 8 billion. That's the power of DeFi. And whatever the challenges, whatever the operational challenges, hindrances banks usually faces, these kind of challenges will not be faced upon DeFi because it's decentralized, most trusted, and so on. This is just a beginning. I just want to say as a teaser, blockchain is gonna change your life, not only in banking, but in every type of industry, right? So let's see how finance will be decentralized as a marketplace in future. So there is a one story of Estonia. Estonia is a country wherein in 1991, each citizen was provided with the equivalent euros and start being asked, go and start your life. This country was about to get vanished from the map. But because of blockchain, yes, because of blockchain, more than 290 use cases. Start counting: voting, e-governance, your payments, your lending, your real estate booking. All these use cases are implemented on blockchain. And this country, since 1991 till now this country has really become one of those blockchain haven, one of those countries wherein other countries can learn and understand how blockchain can be implemented. Now coming back, as a humanity, as a humans, we have seen different types of eras. We have seen automobile era wherein your horse cart being converted into cars. We have seen internet. Since 95, internet has become open to general people. We have seen so many business models. We can't imagine our life without internet. We can't imagine now our life without smartphones. Just imagine smartphone combined with the internet, what will every business model change. Now here onwards, we will see a lot of rise of wearables, IoTs. Post COVID, your complete world will be autonomous. Which is that technology gonna change the world post COVID? That's what we have to dig out. It could be IoT plus blockchain. It could be IoT plus AI plus blockchain. Could be combination of three. But for sure, in the next era, in the next 3 to 4 years, your blockchain will become normal technology. we say blockchain, right? So can you replace the smartphone? Can you replace the smartphone in a recent time? You may say no, but there will be time in future that you will have something else instead of smartphone as a communication device. But since last 13-14 years, since Android or iOS came to our life has changed. That is how I was saying last 20 years you have to see what is that mean in the next 20 years, what is the technology will come and change our life. So blockchain, when I talk about this buzzword, I treat it as an internet 2.0. Why? Because whatever internet has provided as a service, internet has really done fantastic job for us. Internet gives a facility to transform information. Lot of business model. People can order food. People can reserve tickets. People can book for movies. Almost all business models can come on the internet. But there are some problems with the current internet. Internet cannot give a traceability. I have ordered food, but whether the food is coming in the right direction, whether food is being handled by right people, that type of trust, that type of traceability is not handled by internet. So that is why blockchain is a such technology. It says I will handle that. I will take care of all those problems which internet has produced. Bitcoin is a concept which has started in 2009 since the first transaction on pizza. Since then, blockchain has a very good momentum. So that's what Bitcoin is one of the use case, one of the application of a blockchain, right? So primarily why blockchain is very important, because it gives provenance, it gives trace. If you're ordering some shirt or some apparel from the Paytm or Flipkart, blockchain will tell you since how many days it is lying in a logistics in a warehouse, since how many days it took for from which cotton this particular shirt is made of. Blockchain will tell you from which farm apples are being produced. So that kind of trace and provenance blockchain gives without much of intermediate people manual. And moreover, it's immutable. Whatever you are written in a blockchain, it cannot be changed, it cannot be tampered, right? And it is having a smart consensus. Main brain of a blockchain is a distributed trust. So whoever is involved in a complete chain, complete transaction, blockchain gives that trust to everybody. So that is why it's very important technology, so that whoever is involved, they know what's really happening in the complete ecosystem. So today we'll talk about current trends, then we'll talk about various blockchain opportunities to tackle the challenges in current trends. We'll talk about one of the example like banking, how banking is going to change with the blockchain, and we'll talk about some of those blockchain use cases. So at the end of a presentation, I will say that post COVID, blockchain is one of those radical change agent, right? So Corona, that's our current time, right? So since last 4 to 5 months, at least in India, we have seen a lot of up and downs, lockdowns, work from home, so many challenges due to Corona or this kind of a pandemic situation. This situation never arise, at least in the last 20-30 years. It has arise because of some of other situations, but since last 30-40 years, it has never arise. Now this is a pandemic situation, something started from Wuhan. It is really impacting a single citizen, every citizen out there in a country like India, and more than almost all countries are being impacted. Can you imagine Eiffel Tower, such a prominent tourist place? It is just closed because of these things. Not only Eiffel, almost it has impacted your offices. It has impacted various social gatherings. People don't gather. People are at home. There are some lot of rules by government how social distance should to be made, and so on. That's the impact we have. We have impact like this. People are doing shopping with all social distancing. This is one of the picture from India. Work from home, being at home, working from home, your hours are increased. People are working from home. That's a new normal. That's a new normal, and we will live with this new normal. Shopping. So everywhere you will see impact of a Corona or COVID, right? This is a branch. This is a branch where almost any customer is coming to this branch. How can in future as a bank, how can I utilize this real estate? How can I utilize those cinema halls? How can I utilize those large offices where people are not going? And as a new normal, people will, or organizations, companies will look at work from home kind of scenarios. As a human being, I do not know as today if I'm ordering a food, ordering fruits, I'm ordering anything. I do not know from which farm it is coming. And during COVID, if I'm ordering, I will not take it at all, because I will say it is infected, right? I will say it is being touched by so many people. I will not really buy this. Look at those transactions on the e-commerce sites or any of the shop. It has increased drastically in last 3 to 4 months. So these are challenges, but apart from challenges, these are the different new opportunities as a human we have seen. We have seen 3D printed houses. We have seen robots being utilized. We at shopping. We have been or at hospitals. Many countries have adopted robots. There are a lot of innovations we have seen in the last 3 to 4 months. Lot of digital transformation. I would say as a human being transformed, augmented reality, robots, right? Hong Kong airport starts with a full body dysfunctions. So these are different kind of innovations we have seen in just last 4 months. Drones being utilized, right? Sydney based recruitment company, they are doing virtual interviews. You can see a Mexico based design agency launches some money sanitizers. Cash we cannot handle. Learning from home, all schools are teaching students from on virtual modes, right? There are a lot of innovation. This is, if I keep on counting, I would say this is a terrific era in last 10-20 years. Number of innovations the way has happened, the number of our lifestyle of human is being changed, but it's all due to on our internet or mobility, robots or transport. Every situation has really changed. So globally, impact is everywhere. Globally, impact is at governments, businesses, households, entertainment industry. Complete supply chain is broken, and one industry is impacting another industry. So world is really impacted. At times, government has to do intervention to really make it stable, right? So if I say financial industry, it's also going to be impacted. So if I look at this radar view, wherein most impacted industry travel and transport, followed by so many others, right? Banking, public sector, retail, media and entertainment. At times, some of the industries are really doing well, like media and entertainment. People are watching movies or shows or web series on Netflix or Amazon Prime and so on. But rest of the industries are really having a very bad time. And the whole impact is on our economy. In 2020 or onwards, economy will be down. So what is that we should do? We should innovate. We should do something. We have to invest in those technologies. So I'm coming to that blockchain story, how blockchain, IoT or AI will come to our life. More investment will happen now on blockchain or AI or IoT. Focus will be on reducing cost, operating cost. Last 3 to 4 months, business is not that great for everybody. So we need to see how can we earn more, how can we focus on operating on a lesser cost. We have to drive operational efficiency and productivity from small things. You have to bring on more innovations, more reskilling, more technologies, so that our life becomes easy and our economy becomes stronger. How do we do that, right? That's a very important question. In future, one of our impact is on all of these 17 sustainable development guidelines given by UN. Zero hunger, zero poor, right? Or having a clean water, or having a very good financial inclusion. These are the guidelines given by UN for 140 plus countries of association, so that every country by 2030 should not have any poverty. Everybody should get food, good water, good health. Health is now become very important. And UN says, and World Economic Forum says, some of these guidelines can be met with the help of technology, so-called blockchain. That's why it's very important. Blockchain can give a boost for meeting these guidelines. Maybe some impact on the banking, like people will not visit branches, people will do more of a digital channel based transactions, or people may not really would like to really talk to the customers. Everything's going on digitized. That is becoming a normal life. So as a bank industry, as an example, how do I onboard my customers when I'm not visiting branches? When I'm not going to collect those documents at home? How do I do that? That's a challenge for us. How do I really serve all those people coming to branches? How can I serve them better? Lot of back office operation happens in bank. How do I do it when I'm not visiting branch? I need to do a lot of continual innovation. That's a challenge. And primarily, whatever I'm doing since last 3-4 months, we are seeing lot of frauds are happening. Lot of threats, security measures needs to be taken care by banks. So that's another important aspect, how security compliance will be made. So opportunity for blockchain is that blockchain will help us to meet those 17 sustainable development goals. Last 3-4 months, the performance of this goal meeting exercise for every country has really impacted. Quality education, the education is from home. How do I do that virtually? That's very important. So no poverty, zero hunger, which I was talking, these guidelines will be made by blockchain. Say out of the 7.6 billion people on the earth, 1 billion people are estimated to lack digital identity. Blockchain can give that factor, success factor, so that every citizen, every human being on the earth should have a dynamic digital identity. Today in India, we are sitting on Aadhaar, right? Everybody says that Aadhaar is a digital identity for India. But friends, 3.2 billion people have some form of ID and digital trail, but 3.4 billion people don't have. That's the challenge. Why digital identity is important? Because any of those banking services, any of those government services, any of those healthcare services, if they want to avail, citizens should have a digital identity. And blockchain gives a prominent use case to create a robust digital identity, right? A lot of fraud happens on passport size, PAN, Aadhaar, and so on. Blockchain will reduce, rather remove all those problems on digital documents, because it has a provenance, traceability. It cannot be tampered, right? Nobody can have a, if I'm utilizing a passport at the airport will check that passport number to the repository of a blockchain repository, and will come to know that's authentic passport. There are a lot of things are happening on a blockchain side, wherein see private property, no trespassing. You don't have to really worry about your land or your home when it's on blockchain. Telangana government is really working on very good use cases on land registration or real estate registration. In a banking, in a normal scenario, it takes 10-15 days to do a performance transaction. In blockchain, it takes minutes. And whatever you have written as a land record, it is there. Nobody can tamper it. Land belongs to me, will belong to me unless I sell it. And if I sell it, there will be another transaction in blockchain, so that it should say that earlier it was belonged to Prasanna and now it is belonged to somebody else. So that's the future. Like, you don't have to worry. There will be less of corruption. I will be able to come to know from where my fruits are coming, because blockchain can track from which farm, from which farmer, and in between in which warehouse these fruits being kept for how many days. And so that when I scan that fruit at the end of a day, or whenever I'm buying, I'll come to know. Like this insurance. Today, insurance claim for any car damage or a car accident takes 7 to 15 days. With the blockchain, it will be just like in a fraction of minutes, provided we implement it thoroughly and properly. Provided we bring on all the stakeholders around that insurance chain or insurance value chain, your car company, your identity, your bank account, your insurance company, all of them has to on same chain, right? Then only we can, that's the opportunity for blockchain. Your life will change. Nobody wants to go and visit that insurance office or manufacturer and say, see my damage. Everybody wants to do it from home and autonomously and smartly. That is the opportunity blockchain brings. E-voting. Today we say e-voting is the best way to do vote, but again, trust. Your vote being given to one particular party, will it be safe? Is it safe? Answer is not sure. But blockchain-based voting system like in Estonia and some of the countries is a foolproof and is instantaneous. Instantaneously, election results will be declared. There are 450 plus sharing entities in the next 5 years. Today, it could be a shared car like Uber or Ola, or co-working spaces, or like WebWorks, or digital media like Netflix or Spotify or Amazon Prime. Tomorrow and in future, you will not buy apparels, or even if you buy apparels or bikes, you will not buy bikes, you will not buy cars, you will not buy your house, you will not buy houses, you will not buy your offices. Everything we are sharing entity. When these sharing entities will come on that chain, right, more and more trust will be required. More and more trust will be required to see a transaction. Somebody is putting a content onto the digital media, he should be paid off his royalty instantaneously whenever somebody is viewing it. Today it doesn't happen. So these are all challenges. Even we have seen internet, mobile or IoT. There are challenges in our life. These challenges are not solved by internet. Security, one of the most important. Are we safe? We are not safe. At least on internet, you are not safe. Am I being tracked? Yes, 100% you are being tracked. Do you see my profile activity pass? Oh yes. Is it safe? No. So far what we have seen, these are challenges, right? We have seen COVID situation, there are challenges, but there is a radical changes. So-called blockchain has a lot of opportunities to bring on for you. Example, IBM blockchain. They have implemented this, how oranges are coming from. You have to scan it from that application on your mobile app. This is a blockchain based app. It tells you complete traceability of that orange, when the orange was being produced, date, by whom, and complete journey. Yeah, it been showcased in these apps. For example, if you are buying palm oil in a shopping mall and just scan the barcode which is on palm oil's packet as a consumer with that such similar kind of app, you will come to know from which palm oil plantation, from which oil mill, from which refinery, from which manufacturer, from which retail outlet you are being purchasing this palm oil. Now you can imagine how many more applications, how many more products, how many, where all we can implement traceability, so that customer, when they are getting service or buying something from Flipkart or a Food Panda or Zomato, they will come to know from where it is coming. That's our future. Ask anybody on a COVID, you are getting a one Domino's pizza free on another Domino's pizza, or you buy one burger from McDonald's, you will get 5 burgers. Nobody will buy it in spite of those offers, because there is no trust, there is no traceability. But applications built on blockchain, that gives a trust to the consumer and a traceability. That's the life changing exercise which blockchain is bringing for us. I was talking about insurance, right? Now look at this car, a car being made of all of these IoT devices, Internet of Things devices, and every device is smart enough. Every device is smart enough. If a car get damaged, every device will sense it's a life. Every device will tell whether it is secure, not secure, or damaged, and will give a signal back to your insurance company. Just imagine like this: car being embedded with the sensors and detect light, temperature, navigation, color. Car crashes, and after that, your insurance company knows how much is a relatively claim, and immediately you get a notification as a consumer. This much is a claim. User have to just accept and go ahead. Will you not be happy to have such kind of use cases in your life? Obviously, yes. You don't have to visit anywhere. Your life will be autonomous. This is just an example of insurance chain. You can start imagining where all I can implement, where all we can implement this kind of a blockchain based application. This is completely built on blockchain. So friends, we have seen challenges, we have seen COVID era, we have seen blockchain, what it is all. But whenever we start with the innovation is like connecting dots or taking your organization to the next level. See, for example, being cooperative bank, how can it go to the next level? Being a small bank, how can it go to the larger level? So every organization has its own orbit, how they can go to the next level. That's how we have to really see. So innovation is like utilizing same ecosystem differently, right? Just like in this umbrella being utilized for some other purpose with a better feature. Like having a smartphone is fine, but within a smartphone, if I'm utilizing Google map for my Zomato to track, that's the innovation. And many more innovations are required. So as a human evaluations has some principles. Human evaluation happens based upon your environmental conditions, based upon what is there happening, which is their technology, how is the lifestyle, how is the generation, what is that really coming, what is a customer expectation. That's how human evaluation happens. So even evaluation we have seen from automobile, internet, mobile, IoT. Tomorrow it could be AR VR glasses. Recently Geo or Apple have announced. Tomorrow you will not go to the social media sites, so-called Facebook or any other sites. Tomorrow you will enter in a augmented reality, in a virtual reality environment. You will find your friends out there. You will communicate people out there. You may not have to be on Zoom on a remote meeting. You just have to get into a virtual reality and meet your friends or have a meeting out there. That could be a breakthrough technology for humanity. right? With the adoption of 5G, it's all possible. So human evolution happens once again. Technology has improved. Look at the storage, such a big storage, right? Now it's transformed to tiny, this SanDisk USB drive. It's one of the company in Israel has done it, this innovation for us. Spacecraft evolution from Apollo space shuttle to recent SpaceX Dragon, wherein Elon Musk has launched this satellite recently. Lot of evolution changes have happened, right? Your communication, you will not like to send postcards or inline letters to your friends. It is instantaneous matches now. Life has changed. People want instantaneous. Blockchain gives that liberty of instantaneous smart execution of any of those things. We can't imagine sending money to the money order, Google Pay, Bheem, Paytm. So many options are available. So another driving factor is internet. 5.16 billion people has smartphones. Half of our world is on internet. Never know, in next 10 years, everybody will have an internet. That too, blockchain-based internet, trusted internet. Everybody will have this. So that's another impact which will change human life. Our generations are different. As an organization, if I'm offering a service to traditionalist, but or millennials, everybody has a outlook, different outlook to look at branch, bank, look at outlook to look at health. Ask those millennials, they will not communicate to the branch, they will directly on the mobile phones. So these are all driving factors, how customer is moving in the future. If you really don't adapt, another organization will adapt and will move ahead. Another aspect for a human evaluation is a changing lifestyles. Earlier, my dad worked in a one company, single company in overall career. Today, it could be my fourth job. Tomorrow, it's a different. The millennials of the new people, new generation, they keep on learning every day. They're not bothered of a job. They want to keep them engaged themselves. Their operations will be instantaneous. They will just automate everything. They will say, refrigerator, please reorder my food, my ingredients. They will say, electricity bulb, please pay your bills. And that's all possible with a blockchain. So when I was talking about the evolution, another aspect, how infrastructure is changing. Infrastructure has reached to now internet and mobile. So are you ready for a next phase, so-called connected platforms? Are you ready to have your own robots at your home? Just like earlier in the 80s, 90s, it was a prestige to have a television at home. So today, your prestige tomorrow will be having your own robots, social robots, who will help you, who will take care of everything. You don't have to have a maid at your home. Your robots will do every work for you. That's the era. And how it is possible? It is all possible because technology like IoT, blockchain, 5G coming in together. So as an organization, when I want to become from not digital, adopting digital to extreme digital. What is extreme digital? Extreme digital is something like I have entered in a bank branch and somebody knows that I have entered based upon my facial expressions. And moreover, they will come to know I am happy based upon again my facial expression. And based upon that, they will give me service back. You enter in a Amazon shopping mall, buy out every of your product, come out based upon your facial expression. You just have to put a OTP, your shopping is done. Today, most of the organizations are basic digital, advanced digital. Now, everybody is aspiring from extreme digital. During COVID, people were at adopting digital or basic digital. The kind of a digital transformation which has happened in the last 3-4 months is humongous. And that's a momentum we will bring extreme digital. If I want to do it, I need to adopt blockchain kind of a technology. Another aspect to look at how digital transformation happens or design thinking, another principle is that how you're communicating, how you're talking, or how you're communicating your to PC, your smartphones, and so on. Earlier, we were happy with the keyboard and the mouse, right? So that kind of a hardware has evolved. Now, our millennials we usually talk to your phones or your laptops either through touch or a swipe or maybe on voice commands. In future, the things will be different. Things will be on a gaze mode or things will be on augmented reality. Look at how Geo or Apple has launched the Google Glasses. So tomorrow's communication will be without interfaces. You will be directly put onto the communication, right? Like in augmented reality or in virtual reality, you don't have to get on to log in into Facebook or any of the social media sites. You will have to just wear your glasses. You will be entering in that virtual world. That's how is the communication will be tomorrow. And this is all possible with a technology like blockchain, IoT, augmented reality, and ultimately on 5G, right? So So just imagine how your world is moving, right? So we know this Google, Apple, Facebook, or Amazon, and we can't imagine our life without them. And just imagine tomorrow they become tomorrow's bank, or look at these banks. These are future trend setting banks without branches, no people in the branch, hardly 30 people in an atom bank, Fidor or Monzo. And like this, in the worldwide there are more than 60-70 banks already. Post COVID, we will see only digital only banks. And in the bank there are a lot of overheads, operations, man in middle. It is all can be wiped or removed by blockchain. So tomorrow's banks will be primarily on a blockchain kind of a architecture. And tomorrow's banks will have a lot of collaboration with the other non-banking entities. Say for example, some of those apps like Google Pay or Phone Pay, Paytms, or in China like Tencent and Alibaba, we have seen these apps are now collaborating with the other companies. Collaboration with the transport company, or collaboration with the Make My Trip, or collaboration with some hotel industry, or collaboration with some of those medical services, schools. So that's how tomorrow's app will have all the services, so-called future apps. What does it mean? It means that there will be a lot of collaboration will be required, and when collaboration comes, there is a requirement of trust between two parties. And that's how blockchain is very, very important, to bring on that trust between more than two stakeholders or parties. Sharing economy, which I was talking about, is another example, like Facebook or Uber are driving, where you will find more than 250 plus sharing economy models will has to come on an aggregator. There again, a blockchain ecosystem. Open banking. So when I was talking about the banks will not remain only in branch, mobile, or internet. Banks will have to open up their services. Same payment service which was on branch or on a internet mobile will have to go to more than one partners. What does it mean? It means that tomorrow bank will open up many more partners through open banking. What is open banking or API banking? Bank provides a service, application program interface to the other service providers. Whenever that other service provider will come to know, bank would like to know that whether the data being shared with the other service, whether it is intact, secure or not. That is why both the parties has to come on blockchain based kind of a ecosystem. That is why blockchain is very, very important. So if I look at how the various trends are there and various opportunities of blockchain, we spoke, current banking trends are slightly different. Current banking will move from traditional banking to digital banking to the AI enabled bank. Tomorrow's bank will give out the output to the customer on the mobile phone. You wanted to save some 50,000 rupees, and now you are doing transaction of 37,000 rupees for a phone. Would we really want to go for it, or we would like to wait for that? So this kind of an predictive analysis, this kind of assistance, personal finance assistance, will be transformed. Will transform the bank. So current digital banking will become tomorrow's traditional banking, and will have AI enabled banking. Your smart car will go to petrol pump and do the petrol fueling and will do the payment. Your refrigerator will order some food from the nearest shopping mall, right? Your robots will do the transactions on behalf of you. So that is all possible when you enter into that autonomous kind of a situation, and that is not a, and I think that is all possible with the blockchain kind of a ecosystem. So tomorrow's banking, so today's banking is between customer and the bank. So tomorrow's banking will be between customer and banks and non-banking entities, governments, telecoms, utilities, IoT devices. All of these are gonna become tomorrow's customer for bank. Right. So when we are on that aggregated kind of a ecosystem, or a marketplace, or a chain kind of ecosystem, we want trust between customers and their device. We want the trust between customer and the telecom service provider, or a utility bill payments, or a payment provider. That is all possible with the open banking, and again a trusted internet, which is I'm calling blockchain. So friends, I'm giving you these guidelines key where all blockchain will get into fit into for your future or tomorrow's banking. So blockchain, it could be, we'll talk about what is that blockchain, right? We heard about how blockchain will penetrate, but what is that blockchain? I will take 5 minutes to explain blockchain. Blockchain can be divided into three areas: blockchain 1.0, 2.0, and blockchain 3.0. In a blockchain 1.0 is all about your cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, so-called more than 5,000 cryptocurrencies. And that is not really useful for a human being, right? But blockchain 2.0 is something based upon the smart contract, insurance chain example we have seen, or a land registry. These are all applications based upon blockchain 2.0. Blockchain 2.0 is attempt to make current internet more smarter, more autonomous, more quick, and so that ultimately customer will trust the complete service provider and the chain. Blockchain 3.0 is all future where you will find autonomous agents, your AI based systems or IoT based system plus blockchain, these kind of things, right? So take example in a traditional banking, when transaction happens from POS, e-com or a tablet, the transaction takes lot of time. Ultimate merchant gets money on the next day. There are a lot of overheads of servers, so many database servers are being installed, right? And these are all current overhead, dispute management, reconciliation is required, man in middle. You can see in this diagram, man in middle. Errors of that man, so it will arrive. Lot of challenges are there in the traditional banking model, right? So if I drill down, it's a complete like a authorization till clearing or a settlement. Lot of manual work is done. Customer is doing transaction, he gets his amount get debited immediately, but in a back end, lot of overheads are there for banking to really serve end user. I can really change this traditional bank to a crypto bank like this. Less of servers, less of database, no man in middle, and what is the output? No dispute, no reconciliation, it's all real time, no manual. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Bitcoin runs on this phenomena, this method. We just have to change the current banking simultaneously overnight, but it is possible, right? So what is blockchain? So ultimately blockchain is a shared computer, accessible, permissible to anyone. It store all those events, ownership, how transaction happens, complete workflow involving all the parties, customers, all the servers, association in between, without use of separate system database, no database. Digital transformation to be distributed, not copied, not copied. In internet information is copied from one location to another. Blockchain, that is why Bitcoin kind of ecosystem has a complete Bitcoin can have a minimum 250 GB, right? Some of the smartphones today are more than that. Complete Bitcoin since first transaction which has happened 2009 till now, database size is not more than 250 GB. So these are the blockchain definitions and why blockchain is really required for a banking or even non-banking kind of a use cases. So ultimately, no regulation, instant settlement, no branches, no branch is required for blockchain-based banking. We don't need banks in future. That's how human life will be transformed. Low cost fees. I was talking about due to COVID economy will go down. What is that you have to look for? Look for some operational efficiencies model. Blockchain brings that. Banking is just one example for a blockchain based use cases. We can really drill down to almost all types of industries, healthcare, media, entertainment, manufacturing. Almost every industry will get benefit out of it, and ultimately who is a beneficiary? Your customer. So blockchain can be different types: permissionless, public, private. So Bitcoin, Ethereum are like a public and permission. Rest of the things which banks will look at will be permission and private kind of. Private for some of those banks coming together, so on. So your current system can be transformed like a Bitcoin based like this architecture, and same could be with a proper privacy permissions. This could be a topology for a interbank kind of a use cases, just like this. So current banking central bank branches can be converted into this kind of a ledger kind of a ecosystem. So say example, I was talking to DeFi, but the one phenomena which I was talking since beginning of my presentation. Your complete traditional system with all those servers, with all those associations can be transformed into just between two customers. That's all. Example, Dharma is one of those financial apps that operates as a lending platform. When you keep a money in your pocket, does that cash provides you interest? No. But if you keep money in your DeFi based application, they provide you interest also. That's the beauty. Without much of these operations. That is why I say your banking will change because of decentralized finance, blockchain based systems. It is already happening. There are more than 200 startups are working. Say example, loanscan.io is one of the startups in DeFi, which provides lending service. INSTADEEP app, it's a complete DeFi marketplace. Customer can choose which lending company they can opt for a loan, or which is that startup or a fintech which will provide a savings or a current account, and so on. So blockchain adoption is huge. To do blockchain adoption or blockchain impact in an organization goes on to the people of the organization, top management. If the skill is not available for blockchain, bring on that skill. Which are those processes will transform blockchain is very important. Which is the technology along with the blockchain will come into the picture. External forces, regulation, compliance, these are very important. And ultimately how customer is moving at it. So if you are adopting blockchain, all these 5 blocks, people, process, technology, external forces, customers will get impacted. And impact is nice, is not adverse impact. Everything will be at a on a next level, so that your organization will go to the next orbit. So at a people, internal development, in-house COE, reskilling, at a process, your architecture will change, open banking adoption, security will be more strengthened, your operations will be zero operations, right? With the blockchain isn't in the backend. Blockchain will talk to your front office based devices, front office based mobility, chatbots, or IoT based applications through API or smart contract based APIs. So blockchain positioning in the any of the application in the backend along with AI, right? So that's, if you are saying that I am transforming my life with a blockchain, that doesn't mean that only blockchain will help. It will be people, process, and the different sets of technology. UI, which is into mobility, chatbot, or Internet of Things, has to talk with the backend system through APIs or some kind of automation. That's how blockchain works as a part of technology. Your governance, your regulation compliance will be strengthened. You will have to collaborate with the many more industries post blockchain adoption. Ultimately, your customer will get a trusted engagement model, various different business models. Digital adoption will be huge, and you will see a lot of innovations through blockchain. So that's the impact of a blockchain in a company. I'll talk about some of the use cases ultimately for next 10 minutes. Huge implementation in banking, security, IoT, communication, government, charity. I can keep on talking, provide you another 50+ use cases. I can give examples wherein use cases are already happening. They're already into production. And the life has changed. ESTONIA, Dubai, they are all on blockchain. Dubai is getting into blockchain. Almost all use cases they will be on blockchain. There are crypto nations, right? Gibraltar or Cyprus, they are crypto nations. Almost all use case they are bringing on blockchain. In India also, we have seen how governments are adopting. More than 10 state governments are already adopting blockchain at a awareness level or at some of the pilot POC application level. Niti Aayog is supporting blockchain. They have come up with some pharma kind of a use case. Recently in India, government Niti Aayog has announced paper also, one of the strategy for blockchain. So it's all adoption happening everywhere. So if you see industry adoption, it is everywhere. Your real estate, education, energy. If you see mass adoption is into finance and insurance, followed by ICT, information communication. But the way database was being adopted everywhere, right? Ultimately, Oracle database or Fox Pro, it's adopted everywhere. Similarly, blockchain kind of adoption will be everywhere in almost all kind of ecosystems. So primarily in banking, KYC, AML, zero operation, digital identity, peer-to-peer payment, security, better for a better security fraud, for a better cross-border payment, for open banking between two partners, fintech partners, syndicated loan between giving loan to the one customer from the multiple banks, trade finance. Your life will change as a consumer. Your life will change with these use cases. You do a KYC with the one bank, your KYC will be reutilized to the other bank. You don't have to again produce those documents. Operations will be zero in the operations unit with the help of a blockchain. Your records in a banking cannot be tampered. There are a lot of frauds that happened so far. Those frauds will be eliminated because there will be a man in middle. Most of the fraud happens when man in middle comes into picture. Somebody has to touch, somebody has to copy paste, somebody has to authorize, right? We have seen a lot of fraud happening. So blockchain coming in between, it gives a trust aspect. It changes our life with such kind of a use cases. I was talking about KYC use case. Customer approach one bank, same KYC can be utilized somewhere else. One of the Japanese consortium has implemented this centralized KYC based upon blockchain. One of the use case I am driving with the income tax department along with my bank and other banks is like bringing 15GS, Form 26S on on blockchain. Customer don't have to visit branch. He can do it online. And the customer once done with the one bank cannot be replicated to other banks also. Complete settlement can be automated. NPCI is driving this use case with a so-called Vajra. There will not be man required when this use case will go live. Cross-border payment instantaneously happen with a Ripple, Stellar, and there are many other such initiatives under blockchain. Talk about complete trade finance can be changed to blockchain. Efficient operations should be taken care. Talk about complete trade finance. It is already being adopted. There are 7 consortiums. I'm giving example, but there are more than that. Complete banking, core banking can be converted into crypto bank. This is one of the startups, so-called blockchain work. They are already working on it, right? Or a complete supply chain. I was talking about this food, how from where my oranges are coming, from where my particular apparel is coming. Complete supply chain from supplier to logistics to the carrier to the warehouse to the actually consignee actually beneficiary or customer. Everything can be tracked from which manufacturer it has come, when it has come, what was the pickup date, time. Every environmental aspect will be carried out, which internet doesn't give. And post-COVID, this transformation will be more. Recently, PM has announced as a part of Atma Nirbhar campaign, supply chain has to be more smarter. Indirectly, he was talking about utilizing AI, blockchain, IoT, and so on technologies. Agriculture can be benefited out from blockchain. So today's farmer doesn't get actual rate. His life will change post-COVID, post-farming system coming on blockchain. He will get right rates for his grains, whatever he's producing. Today, a lot of corruption happens. If he's selling it for 10 rupees, ultimately he will get 10 rupees, but in between buying agents will get more than that. Now, through all of these stakeholders, farmer, buying agent, transportation, warehouse, government, everything, somebody coming on a same chain. Farmer will come to know when his grain was being put into warehouse and when it was being sold, and he will get immediate payment for that and a right payment. Just imagine how life will be so easy and happy for that farmer. I was talking about one of these case, media and entertainment, wherein content service provider doesn't get actual royalty on time. Through blockchain based ecosystem, whenever a listener will listen, publisher will get immediate payment. And I can talk more use cases in those kind of scenarios. Spotify, Netflix are trying for it, are practicing these kind of use cases. So I think as a post COVID, your life will change and more adoption will happen. When it will happen, more it will be on IoTs, and IoT plus blockchain is the best combination provided. Why? Because IoT get protected by blockchain. It adds one more layer. If you are opening your house sitting in a car, right? If somebody else is open, there has to be one blockchain layer will take care of that authentication authorization. Data, so data coming in my organization from external from an external network, I can authorize that transaction, then only allow it. So I think Internet of Things is a best thing will happen for humanity, but it has to be secure, and blockchain gives that promise to make it more secure. Some of the use cases like energy meters, solar coin, or a complete smart city can come under one blockchain. Just I gave an example of Estonia or Dubai. Telangana government is building a blockchain district, complete parking, traffic management, EV charging for your cars, relevant payments, everything will be on blockchain. Every citizen in that city will be provided with a digital identity. He can use it everywhere, and whatever he is doing is tracked, traced. No corruption. Complete farming within a smart city. It will be, life will be so simple and so nice. Ultimately, implementation could be complex, but there is a use case for making smart cities more smart with the blockchain. Open banking I was talking about. So bank opening their services to the fintechs can make it more secure by bringing that fintech also onto the same chain. In India, we have account aggregator things coming into feature in a few months altogether, where account aggregator wherein fintechs can collaborate with the banks at a standardized APIs. I think there, if you bring a blockchain on a right time, you can just imagine the data security, privacy will get benefited out of this kind of a use case in blockchain. Startup funding. If an investor is giving fund to a startup, investor will come to know how funds are being utilized by a startup A, B, or C. How soon he will get a benefit out of that investment. Complete traceability is brought to this kind of a use case. Complete security gets next level of security. No denial of services kind of a attack like we have seen in some of those scenarios in some of the banking frauds will not happen. Data protection, endpoint security will be all strengthened by blockchain. People will feel safe. The question which I was asking earlier, am I safe on internet? When in blockchain based internet will come, if I ask same question, you will say yes, I'm safe. And how much is the safety level, that also will come to know. Ransomware attacks will never happen. We'll come to know who is really doing that with a blockchain based security. So friends, at the end I will talk about these old logos never had that vision to understand how customer is moving. AOL, Kodak, BlackBerry, Nokia's, Yahoo's, they were the best logos during their time, but they never understood how consumer and all those external factors which I was talking about, right? Communication, different generations, internet, upcoming technologies, how it changes overall outlook to look at any of the services which are availing. While bringing internet and mobile, you have seen these new logos: Google, Apple, Amazon, Geos, or Ola, Uber. We can't imagine our life without these people. Without WhatsApp, Make My Trip, or we can't. Netflix, we can't now. But friends, COVID gives a challenge to us as well as an opportunity to bring next logos. How same logos can be transformed into the next logos. So next logos could be the future logos, but they have to adopt blockchain to really make that happen for your consumer. Human life will change drastically here onwards, and it's an opportunity for every company, every country to make it happen seamlessly while adapting blockchain kind of a technology, along with the combination with the AI, mobility, IoT, big data, artificial intelligence, these kind of technologies. So your banking today, which has started from a barter, is one example I'm giving. Paper-based banking or a card. Tomorrow it could be DeFi-based banking. Or a DeFi is just a start, is an example of how a decentralized banking will be there. How branches will not be relevant. How ATM will be irrelevant, right? So I think that's an opportunity as an blockchain in banking. Use me an example. Blockchain can go beyond banking, healthcare, transportation, any of the use case you imagine where there are more than two stakeholders, you can bring on blockchain. So that is it from my end. I'm Prasanna Lohar. I'm from DCB Bank. I am really practicing blockchain since last 4 years, and I see future will be very nice if you start adopting blockchain now. It starts from awareness till the practicing and the implementation, but ultimately blockchain along with the other technologies combination, you will see our life more simpler and more better for our end users. So thank you so much ETCIO for inviting me to talk on a very prominent technology, blockchain, so that I keep on spreading this awareness out here. So thank you so much once again, ETCIO complete team, for inviting me for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lohar, for such an interesting workshop there.